So, Chuck, Gavin Newsom left the state today to kick off a red state tour in the launch of his new political action committee to take on Republican leaders in other states. The governor maintains he has no interest in running for president. The critics here in California say this looks like a pre-presidential campaign. What would you say?
Both things can be true. He has no interest in running for president in 2024. And he may have an interest in someday running for president. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to be the leader of the party. I can tell you this. In talking with people very close to him about all this, he believes there is a leadership vacuum on the political side of the Democratic Party. He thinks the Democratic Party, look, he understands President Biden's got to be President Biden, but he thinks there is a lack of I don't know what you would call it, oomph. My people might call it chutzpah, whatever you want to say, but somebody to really more forcefully push back. From my understanding, he believes more forcefully push back at sort of what Republicans are doing in the states, or what he deems as sort of authoritarian-like pushes, anti-democratic type of legislation that he believes is taking place, and that somebody needs to be more aggressive and more forceful at pushing back, going to these states. So I do think he believes there's a leadership vacuum on the political side of the party. He understands why the Biden White House maybe doesn't want to get its hands so dirty and have to be attacking. And I think he sees that as the opening. He's surprised somebody hasn't picked up this mantle among other Democratic senators or things like that. So I think that's how he views it. But look, let's not be naive here. If it expands his national name ID, then it means someday. I think anybody that has Bobby Kennedy as a hero, political hero, runs for office, I think someday has an aspiration to be president. Maybe not today, but someday.
Okay, so on that note, on the same day that he kicks off what's called this campaign for democracy, the lone Democrat here in California who voted against his bill that could punish oil refiners when they make too much money off of California drivers, that lawmaker was stripped of a key legislative committee here in the State House. Assemblymember Jasmeet Bains, she represents one of the oil epicenters in California. She said she was just trying to be the voice of her constituents. What do you make of this?
Look, it looks like political hardball. And I do think that this is always the temptation when you attain the kind of supermajority power that Democrats have right now in California. I think, this is the next phase that I've been sort of waiting for, as with Republicans not having really any place in governing, that you're going to start to see the divide happen within the party itself, that you'll have sort of a business, sort of a more pro-business Democrats or more pro-industry Democrats versus those that maybe are more progressive. And you're going to start to see these divides, I think, open up more and more. I think there is always a danger when you start to punish people like that. You could end up alienating swing voters. This is a person that I think represents more of a swingier area than perhaps some of these other lawmakers. So I am not surprised. I think you're going to start to see more tension like this inside the party as you get more business interests who decide, well, the Republican Party's useless in California. If I want to try to have some influence in Sacramento, I'm going to go find Democratic Party allies that might carry our water. And in this case with oil, they found somebody who represents somebody who may be impacted by it job-wise. So I think this is something you'll start to see more of. And I'll be curious to see if they'll continue to be aggressive in sort of trying to create a party machine, like if you're not with the party, you're out mentality. I think that's a slippery slope and usually leads to more problems than solutions.